Hey everybody, welcome back from break. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. I know I did. So today we're going to start a brand new unit, which is Unit 8, and it's all about circles. Alright, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the basics of circles, what circles are, and what circumference is. So I thought I'd start by showing you a real easy way to draw a circle. I have a container. It's a creatine container for those of you who like to work out, and I'm going to use that to make a circle. So let's see how it goes. If you try to do it freehand, it'll come out looking kind of silly most times. So as long as you have something circular like this, you just trace it. It should come out looking okay. Like not bad, not perfect, but not bad. So nice, easy way to draw a circle. So we're going to start with that. We're going to go ahead and put something towards the center. There you go. And we're going to call that, we'll call that point C. Okay. Then we're going to do a line segment going through that, straight through to the other side. Okay. We're going to go ahead and call that B over here. And this will be E over here. We're going to put another point over here. We're going to call that D. We're going to go ahead and connect those. And we'll do another one over here. A point here, point here. We're going to connect those. And we'll call that point A, and this will be point F. Okay? So there's a lot going on here. I'll walk us through this and what these all indicate. Okay? So, and I think what I'll do is I'll actually write some definitions here as we do this. Okay, so a circle. So this will be the first term. So circle is going to be the locus, or set, really, you can say locus or set, of all points, or set of all points is probably better actually, of all points in a plane equidistant from a given point called the center. I'll put a box around that because that's another term we need to know. Let's zoom in here so you can see that a little better. Sorry. Called the center of the circle. And the cool thing about the center is that that's how we name circles. Like this would be called circle C because that's the center. So when you name circles, you actually name them by the center. Okay, so this would be circle C. There you go, circle C. So you name it by the center point. Okay, it's kind of like the designation. Now these things over here, this segment and this segment, are special. We call those chords. Okay. A chord is a line segment. Oops, not segment. Let's try to spell it again. Line segment whose endpoints lie on the same circle. Okay. So we have some chords here. Like this is chord AF. That's a chord. BE is also a chord. BE is a special kind of chord though, because it goes through the center, we're going to call that the diameter. So let me go ahead and write that down here for you. So diameter, chord that passes through the center of a circle. Okay. All right. And then this here, because this line segment, one endpoint is the center of the circle, and the other endpoint is on the circle itself, we call this the radius. You know, I'm sure you've heard that term before. It's a unit of measurement we use when we're describing circles as well. So radius. And I guess we call it diameter of this circle is going to be, call that BE, which is actually double the radius. Like this is essentially two radii stacked together. So radius is a line segment. Let me scroll up here. You can see a little better. Line segment with one endpoint being, I can't spell today, being the center of a circle and the other being on the circle itself. Okay, so we have some terminology here. We have circle, chord, diameter, and radius. So those are really the only terms. And we're going to get into circumference, obviously. Okay, so those are the key features of a circle right here. These terms right here. So we have circle, a set of all points that are equidistant from the center, right? We have a chord, which is a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle itself. The diameter is a special kind of chord that goes through the center, and the radius is the distance from the center of the circle to any other points. So it's defined by a line segment, but the radius literally describes the distance from all these points from the center, which is extremely useful for us. So let me see what we want to do next. Probably another example or two. Okay, so through the magic of editing, this magically appeared. So I drew a circle here with a bunch of things on it. I don't want to tell you what they are. I want you to try to figure this out on your own. So what I want you to do right now is draw this, okay, and then answer these questions as best you can using the information I just gave you. So I want you to name the circle, okay? I want you to name a radius of the circle, and there were multiple answers for this. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 different answers you can give for this one. 10 if you actually reverse the letters, but there's only 5 different answers. But just give me one. Name a chord. So there's a bunch of chords you can answer with. So just give me one of those, and then name the diameter of the circle. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna basically wait a few seconds here for you to pause it, do it, and then I'm gonna go over the answers myself. Okay, so hopefully you followed those directions. We're going to name the circles. The circle is identified by the center point, so we're going to call this circle K. So that's the center, right? Name a radius. There's a bunch of radii here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all of those. I'm actually going to give you all of them. So we have KQ, and again, you could always reverse these. KP, KO, KN, and KR. And again, you could always reverse this. It could be QK, PK, OK, NK, and RK, of course. Name a chord of the circle. So remember, a chord is a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle itself. So we have 2. We have this one and this one. This is the diameter, but that's a special one. But this is a chord as well. So NO, or ON, and RP, or PR. Okay. Name the diameter of the circle. So the diameter is a chord that goes through the center, so it has to be this one. So RP. You could also call it PR, okay? All right, let me try another example with you guys. Okay, so we have an example here where we have circle A, and we're told that DF is the diameter of circle A, and we're also told that if DF is equal to 10, find DA. So we know that this whole thing here is 10, right? So we know also that radius equals half of the diameter. Okay, so we know the diameter is 10. So we're going to say, okay, radius is going to equal half of 10. And what's half of 10? Half of 10 would be 5. So the radius here would be 5. We don't have any units of measurement, but that's how you would solve that. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and see if there's any more examples I want to do with you. Hold on a second here. So really the last thing we need to talk about is circumference. Circumference has a very specific formula, which I'll give you. So, well, first I'll tell you what circumference is. So circumference. Okay. Circumference of a circle is the distance around a circle. This is something that gets thrown into quite a few word problems or, critical thinking problems, right? And there's a formula for that, okay? The formula, it'd be helpful if it was on camera. Circumference is distance around a circle. C equals 2 pi r. So in other words, it's actually the diameter times pi, okay? And pi is an irrational number that goes on forever, infinitely, with no discerning pattern. And that's the formula we would use. So for example, let's say we were told that we had a radius of, 7 meters. We had to find the circumference. Well, we'd say circumference equals 2 times pi times 7 meters. We'd multiply 2 and the 7, so we'd have 14 pi meters. So that's how long the circumference would be. Okay? Pretty straightforward. And that's basically it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a video that's going over the exercises we're going to be doing in class and at home. And hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Let me know if you like the format with me giving the example in time is something different we're trying. So just let me know. I'm trying to make these as good as possible for you guys. Thanks.